Hi guys, I guess you're wondering what I'm doing or what I'm knitting. So this is something you probably can't guess what it is, but Easter is coming, and this is a very, very unusual and I think super cute when hopefully it will be super cute when it's done. It's a duckling, a knitted duckling. And I'm doing a bunch of these. I had a lot of wool. It's sort of like a fun fur type of wool, and in different colors, and I had a lot of this from the Daffodil Afghan, and I'm making them into these really cute Easter ducklings, and it's going to take a while. So I've already gotten started doing it, and over the next little while I'm going to be filming this episode, and I will show you the progression, and hopefully at the stage where I'm putting them all together and stuffing them. So really looking forward to that, because for me Easter is about a lot of different things. Okay, so as I was saying, Easter for me is all about a lot of different things, including little plush animals, chicks, ducklings, and bunny rabbits. So I can't make them all in this short amount of time, but I'm going to do my best to make the ducklings, and I will be back. And I am looking forward to this because I love knitting, and I've always, since I was a kid, actually, I've been knitting since I was 12, and I've always super loved doing children's toys. So I look forward to doing this with you guys, and stay tuned, and I'll have some more progress on this project in this episode. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Okay everyone, so I'm back as I promised about 2 weeks later, and I have I would say about 95% of the duck all done. It's at the stage where I just want to show all the different pieces. I'm going to weave in some of the ends, and then I will be back again to show you how to make up this very cute little duckling, and to sew it together and to stuff it. And I think that is actually the fun part of this project, although I did have a lot of fun knitting. So here I have a bag. I'm just going to dump it and sort of show what I have here. So the first thing I have, I don't know if you can see it very well. These are the feet, the little duck feet. Okay, and that has to be made up. And while I show you that, this is a little hard to see, but this, you can see that there are two seams here. It's the tail, so that has to be made up into a 3-dimensional tail, and this is the rest of the body. And it is, I wish I could show you better, but this wool is so cuddly and soft. It's kind of a type of baby blanket wool, and it's just amazing, and I love the color, by the way. So we have that's the body. This is the head, and this is the beak. This is the beak part, and this is the rest of the head, which has to be stuffed. And we have to attach the eyes, And the last two parts are the beautiful wings that I have here. Okay, so that also has to they have to be fitted to the duck. And I wanted to show that while I was making it, I have these place markers, so that will show where I will, or that will help guide me to where I need to sew on the various parts. Now comes the hat, the two hats that I have. And I think this is really, really cute. This is a flower hat, and there are a lot of ends to weave in this one, but once I do, I really think it's going to be quite cute. This is the leaf part, and this is the flower part. It's very, very cute, I think. And the only part that I'm still working on as I speak is this aviator hat. And it's a little hard to see because I have the stitch needle holders, or the stitch holders. And this is one of the ear flaps. And this is the back part. And you have to do an I-cord cast off, which I've never done before. Apparently there are YouTube videos on it. If I get stuck, but I'm really kind of looking forward to this because, as I said, I've never done, this particular cast off before, but it should be interesting, and it's certainly a learning experience. So once I weave in the ends and I finish this little hat off, I will be back and I will be putting the duckling together. So stay tuned. There's a lot more interesting stuff to come where I make up the duck. Okay, duckling. Okay, so now we're ready to make up the duckling, and the instructions for doing that are not super complicated, but they're not that straightforward that it can be done very, very quickly and easily. So what I've decided to do is show the duckling that I have and sort of relate it to the pattern to show basically, okay, so what I have here is the body, and I think you can see that there is a split here and there is a split here, and these are the side seams. These are obviously the feet, and these are the side seams, the left one and the right one, that if you go to the computer here, you can see this is the tail. And what they do is they do the seams in a blue just to show how to do it. Because if you were to obviously do it in white, then it would be hard to see. So they're just showing to do the right side seam and then the left. So you have sort of like a triangle. So with wrong sides together, fold the tail piece together and sew along the decreased edges neatly. So you basically do that. And then you come up to the stage here where you're doing the feet. And basically what you're doing for the feet, the long and the short of it is, you are going to be sewing the wrong sides together. And you are going to be stuffing the feet. And there's a bit of a trick to all this. But you're not going to be stuffing the leg part. You're just going to be stuffing the tail, the body, and the feet, at least for the body part here. I'm just going to move ahead here. So we stuff the tail. So then when we get to the stuffing, we stuff the tail first, taking care not to stuff the very tips, because we don't want the feet to be so stuffed that they cannot be flat, because remember, this is a duckling. So you want them stuffed, but not too much so. And if we can sort of zoom here, we can sort of see here that they're stuffed, but they're still quite flat. And we then proceed to, of course, finish stuffing the body here. So that is the first part. Now this is what I think is a very, very interesting technique. When you get to the feet here, I'm just going to zoom a little bit, you are supposed to put 3 different markers. So you have the middle, and you have the side toes. And what you do, which I think is very interesting, you mark the toe positions with the markers, and then starting with the middle toe, you sew through both layers and stuffing of the foot, pull the yarn tightly with each stitch and take the yarn around the outer edge of the toe and pull to indent. Repeat for the other 2 toes. So what they're doing is basically they're creating the toe by means of the sewing technique of taking your needle here and basically sewing an indent to the toe. And you do this 3 times for the 3 different toes. And this is what it looks like. So I thought that was very, very interesting. The head is quite straightforward. You have the head here. And basically what you're just doing is you're doing the stuffing of the beak, and then you, like so, and then you attach the eyes. And once you attach the eyes, you stuff the head, and there you go. Very cute, I think. For sort of the final part to this, you take the duck head, and of course you need to attach it to the body. So they show the technique of doing this using thin knitting needles. Skewer the head to the body firmly, and then sew around the head and body, making sure you sew through some of the stuffing as you go. And this is basically the technique of doing that. And the final part is attaching the wings. And basically this is how you do it. You sew the wings on the body. And what I wanted to show is that when I was knitting this, they had asked us to have, so I have markers for where the wings will be. And sure enough, that's what I did. And so this is going to make my job much easier. There's marker number 1, and here is marker number 2. It's sort of hard to see, but there you go. I think you can see them here. So basically that's it, and I will go about doing this. And these instructions are, as I said, there's quite a bit to it, but it is pretty straightforward. You're basically, to recap, you are stuffing the feet, you're stuffing the body, you are creating the toes with sewing stitches. Then you attach, you stuff the beak, you stuff the head, and then you attach the head to the body, and then you attach the wings. So there you go, and I will start. Okay, so everybody, I'm back, and I'm going to start what I think is the really fun part of putting the duckling together. I've never made a duckling before, so I'm a little bit apprehensive, but I'm still, for the most part, looking forward to it. And I just wanted to show you this beautiful canister I got years ago from either a church bazaar or a secondhand store of some kind, and I think it's so Eastery. Isn't it cute? And I have my stuffing here in a mason jar, and just quickly wanted to show you these are safety eyes, and I have them in a little beaded bottle. Sorry, not beaded bottle, a little corked bottle. So I'm gonna do my best and start, okay? So just keep watching. so now we have the feet, and we're just going to be the bottom soles, I should say, of the feet. So we're just going to be sewing this through for both feet, for each foot. Okay, so as I was saying, so we have our the back sole, I suppose, of the foot, the back part of the foot, and I'm just doing that seam right now. And while I do that seam, I'm just going to say that after I finish, what I'm going to be doing, I'll just show, is I'll try to make it as flat as possible, and then I'm lifting the other end up, and I will be stuffing this way while making this as, trying to leave it as flat as possible. Okay, you can, no, hold on. Okay, you can it over to the other side as I showed before, which is it's kind of a cute little opening I have here. This is how it was made. And so all I'm doing right now is taking the cotton batting and I'm stuffing the little duck foot. And this is, I actually think this is one of the fun or the neat parts to making a stuffed animal. I've made stuffed animals before, but I've never done a duck. Okay, that looks pretty perfect. I can fiddle with it later, but just to show, this is the foot, and as I was saying, duck's feet are usually flat, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I have my thread here, sorry, my wool here, and all I'm going to be doing is closing this, sewing this closed. And there you go. So I'm going to repeat the process for the second foot. So we have this here. This is the top part of the foot. And as the instructions said, what I'm going to be doing, I have my yarn here if you can see it. I'm going to be doing this, taking the yarn and sewing it in here, here, and here. So here we are again. So we've got the foot, the front part of the foot. And as I just want to remind you guys, what I have the yarn here, and I'm just going to be taking it tightly, stitching through like this, here, here, and here. I'm not using markers. I'm just doing it by eye. Actually, before I do it by eye, better make sure. Yes, it should be fine. This one here. Just to show basically what it should look like. And I'm obviously using a darning needle, as I have been for the whole thing so far. So I've done that one. I'm just going to go back here. I'm just going to the back and coming back through. And all these instructions, as I showed, are on the duckling pattern. Okay, and I'm just going to do this one here, and then I'm going to repeat for the other foot. So you can sort of see we're getting toes. Okay, so you can see the foot. This is the front part of the foot, or the top of the foot. And I misread the directions, so I'm just going to explain it to myself again. We want to have one toe, another toe, and another toe. So to make a toe, I'm going to, for the first toe, the middle toe, I'm going to have to take this yarn, which I have here, and go down to the bottom of the foot and basically sew it in tightly here and then here. So that way I will have one toe. Then I will repeat that process for the side toes, the left and the right toe. So let me just do, at least let me do the first one. Okay. You're supposed to use markers, but I'm just going to do it by eye because I find it quicker. But you really should be using markers here. Okay, so let's just do this one here. And I think that is starting to look pretty okay. You can see the toe. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat the process for the other two. And we will be back. Thank you. What we have, I'll just switch it so the camera person can see it. We have the tail here. As I showed you before, we have the two seams here for the tail. So I have my needle. I'm just going to be stitching up this side and this side. I have the duck foot, one of them. I'm going to do the second one. And basically, after I do that seam, I'm just turning this upside down. I'm just going to be stuffing the duck. Okay? And then once I do, I will be back and we'll put the head together. Okay, so now we have sort of one of the fun parts. So I've done both of the feet, and I have, as I had shown before, I have the body. So I have no clue how much cotton or stuffing I'm going to need. I put a little bit in here. I have my mason jar, and I'm just going to be taking out. And then when I'm done that, I'm just going to show here, I already have this cut long, so all I'm going to be doing is sewing that up. So let's just see how much, because we don't want to, again, in the directions it specifies you don't want to understuff, but you don't want to overstuff. And just in case I haven't shown before, I'm not putting just cotton balls in there. I have taken the cotton balls and I've been sort of, I don't know what the word would be for that, but I've been separating them, I guess, making them like this. Okay, so I'm just going to continue doing that. Okay, drum roll, please. This is about as exciting as it can get when you're making a duckling. So I've got the little guy or girl sitting on his or her tail, and I've got the feet. I haven't done the second part of the toes for the second foot, and I'm just going to take the head. Voila! Does that not look cute? I'm going to sew this on the back and the front, but what I really like about it is that I followed the pattern to a T, and it really does work. The head does fit with the body. I was really worried about the size. And before I forget, I have the markers here, so after this is done, the only thing that will be left will be to do the wings, and we're going to be done. Okay, thank you for watching so far, and let me get to it. What's that? Who's this? Is this your new friend, Ducky? Oh my goodness, isn't this nice? Yes. Ducky is saying Happy Easter to Roly Poly. What a sweetheart. No. Okay, everyone, so what do you think? I have my cute duckling ready. It took about 2 weeks, and I have lots and lots of other things to do, and I've done other episodes during those 2 weeks. And but this was a lot of fun, and for me, I love knitting and crocheting, but one of my favorite projects is doing stuff for children, and I think this is a beautiful, beautiful addition for anybody's Easter. It's probably too late for this Easter, but I will have the link to in the description box for this episode on where to find the pattern. It's under $10 Canadian, so it's very affordable. And it's also got an aviator hat, which I'm still working on. But I thought this flower hat is really cute, and it's got like a little stem. These are the leaves, and this is of course the flowers. So anyways, I hope you give this a try. It was, as I said, a lot of fun. So thank you for watching. If you like this episode, please, please like and subscribe, please. Subscribing does not cost anything. Stay tuned for more interesting episodes. Thank you for watching. Stay well, stay safe, stay blessed, and happy Easter. Bye for now.